everybody? How you guys doing today? Today I'm going to be reviewing Medusa at Six Flags Great Adventure. This is a B&M Floorless roller coaster. This ride is interesting. It's not really all that great, but it's cool. Not a bad ride at all. So I just wanted to come on and talk about this ride because I don't know, I just had a feeling I should talk about it. So what I mean by interesting is this ride is very remote. It's in a very remote section of the park. You kind of get to this area where the log flume and runaway mine train is, and you get a great view of King del Toro. If you go a little further, then you'll reach a part in the park where nothing else is until you find Medusa. That is this ride. And let me just say, this ride has one of the coolest entrance signs of any ride in the world. This ride literally has a picture of Medusa doing some kind of move with the ride name Medusa over it, and it's all green, and it's intertwined with the Cobra roll, which is absolutely awesome. And it's very cool. It's if you want to get out of the park kind of and go to a different roller coaster that's just not very visited, this is the ride to do. And it's also a GP pleaser, but a lot of people just don't ride it because they don't know it's back there. It's not exactly my type of ride just because it's not exactly forceful. At least when I rode it, it was very forceless. It kind of just flows through the inversions. I mean, it goes through the layout, but it just doesn't have a lot of speed. It kind of just, it doesn't have force. And I look for very aggressive parts and rides, airtime, aggressive stuff like that. And this ride really doesn't have that at all. So that's my main problem with it. That's why I wouldn't ride it over and over again, because I would literally get bored. But it's still a fun ride. This ride just has a great atmosphere. I mean, you have the ride which is all by itself, and you have a ride with, I think GP would definitely like it because it's not aggressive like I said, and it has inversions. It goes upside down, but it's not like overly intense. It also has fire effects and places you like near miss all the time. They have like during the corkscrews ride, there's this one prop that's really awesome. It's like, I don't even know what it is. It's like this cylinder thing with spikes on it. It's awesome. They also have, coming out of the first drop, they have these Bizarro looking things. This ride actually used to be themed to Bizarro, so that's why those are there. And then there's also, coming out of the dive loop, there are some fire effects, which are very warm. I was in the queue line waiting for this ride, and this ride just absolutely fired this whole area up, and it was really hot over there. So that was pretty awesome. That's awesome. This ride does have a good amount of theming, which is great. Just not a lot of people ride it, so it's definitely usually a coaster. If every other coaster in the park has a line, this ride will probably have a shorter line than everything else, just because it's so remote. But yeah, that's enough about me just rambling about the ride. Let's get into the POV so we can dissect every single element of the ride and you guys know exactly what you're getting into. Alright guys, so of course first you're going to go up your lift hill, which is pretty tall. I believe it's around the 150 mark, around there. And then you're going to go into a pre-drop, which, I mean, it doesn't really do anything for me. At least this pre-drop. A lot of pre-drops have that whip to it. This really doesn't. Then you're going to go down to your curve drop, which again is nothing really special. Although you do have that one near miss that you see in this POV, which is really awesome. Then you're going to go into this vertical loop, which, from what I remember, it didn't have much force. Although it could have been the one part of the ride that did have force. I don't really remember. I don't think it did though. Next you have a dive loop, which again kind of is just a dud, doesn't have much force to it. I do remember that it just didn't. Then you come out and you see some fire effects, which is absolutely awesome. Then you're going to go into the 0G roll, which was pretty fun, honestly. It's still not whippy, but it has some force. It's really fun. Then you're going to do this Cobra roll, which is one of the weaker ones that I've experienced. Not exactly amazing, but not a bad Cobra roll either. Definitely not the worst. It's not rough. Then you're going to go into the mid-course brake run. This is where the ride really, really dies down. You don't have a great ride to begin with in terms of force. Then it really, really dies down as it trims basically all your speed. You almost stop. So after the mid-course, you're going to go into these random turns, which are, I don't know, they're all right. You just kind of go around, I guess. I don't know, you're just going around. Then you're going to go into these corkscrews, which are also very pointless. You have that one near miss in the middle if you see that, but that's really the only cool thing about it, the only special part. But yeah, these corkscrews, I think I literally laughed because of how forceless it was. You can go into a couple more turns, and that is going to conclude your ride on Medusa. So yeah, this ride, it's really not anything special, but it is also something that is not a bad ride. It's something to kind of chill from the rest of the coasters in the park. Say you're riding like El Toro and King Ka and Jersey Devil, all those awesome rides. This is a good ride to just kind of chill on, along with Runaway Mine Train. If you just want to chill, this is a great section of the park to come to, because you got that, Runaway Mine Train, and the log flume. So it's a great section of the park to do that in. It's also very remote, so that's awesome. Overall, I'm going to give this ride a 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10 is very low for me, so I'm not going to put it there. 8 out of 10 is too good for this ride, so 7 out of 10 I think is fair for this ride. All right, I will leave all links to the merch in the description below. I will also leave credit to whoever took this footage and the POV and the music. Thank you guys so much for watching. Aim high, not low, and never quit. Peace.